Hey everyone, and welcome to REZOcast episode 58. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove and Triton, and our special guest this week, a member of Resolute himself, DirtyRoot. Welcome to the show. And how's your week been?
Well,
man?
my first question is, how does it feel to be in Resolute as Lego?
Did I say that? Just said Resolute.
It's been a good week. I mean, we had some pretty interesting stuff come out this week, huh? With the,
yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week, don't we?
Osiris. But I love Resolute. I've probably been like your biggest fanboy for the longest time, really. It was like super small, but I used to get put in the corner by Tinks a lot, so.
I did all that. That's like
that was
right?
the entirety of her episode on REZOcast.
Right. Yeah,
was
she put me in timeout a lot.
Putting him in timeout the whole time.
And if I remember, I think I was one of the first people to make a comment on REZOcast when it came out. That's how long I've been listening.
Oh, very nice. Well, it's so nice to have you on the show, man.
I'm super glad to be here.
Well, you mentioned being a fan since Resolute was very small.
Yes.
Speaking of very small, let's go to Triton next.
Okay, so Hove's just going to be a dick from the start. I get it. So everyone is super mad that they just heard the plot of the best romantic comedy ever. Hove is actually mad. Lego is amazed, and DirtyRoot was, I would say, moderately open to the idea. So that was certainly part of the week. Had a blast in Destiny this week. I think I got the raid done finally. Prestige the game, which was awesome.
Wait,
nice.
Played with some awesome
that was the
people.
first time you did the raid?
Well, actually, I've now cleared the raid two times,
Okay.
but I attempted the raid. It just was a late night. I mean, it was a great explanation, a lot of patience. We just didn't get through, but then we breezed through it recently. Played a lot of PvP. Got to play with Lego a little bit. Played with a lot of the clan members randomly. I've played with DirtyRoot somewhat recently. So yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks since I missed the last one in Destiny. And I'm going to skip Hove, and I don't know if Lego went, but I'm not going to acknowledge Hove to go next. So Lego, hurry up and go next.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've had a good week. I've been basically grinding my character on PC.
Okay, everybody.
Triton just muted Triton.
He did it himself.
Sorry, I'm so distracted because before the podcast, Hove had been muting Triton this whole time, and then he actually muted him now.
No, Triton did that himself.
Either way, I'm highly distracted. But yeah, I've just been playing my character on PC, trying to get used to it, trying to, figure out what the best settings are for playing on a crummy MacBook Pro, which is not the way you should be playing Destiny 2. But hey, it's working for me, and I can actually play with my friends on PC, which is pretty awesome. And so finally beat the game, got the last hope. So I pretty much beat the game, already. No, I still have a lot more guns to get, and I'm just working on one character on my Titan. But yeah, it's been a good week, eating up all the news about, the Curse of Osiris, which I'm really excited to talk about later. But Hove, how was your week, man?
It's been good. I got a little bit more PC time in it. I do think it's curious though how you said you get to play with all your friends on PC, because that's weird. I just invited you a little bit ago, and you didn't want to play with me.
Because I was working on the podcast.
I called you the other day, Lego, and you were like, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy. Never call me back." Just compounding on
but
that.
No, it was cool getting to get your take on it after having another week to play it, because it seems like you've been converted. You realize that.
So
it just feels better, man. It just does.
Here's my hot take on PC Destiny, and this is not playing on a great computer too. It makes me really anxious to play it on a really good setup, because playing 60 frames per second with this game just feels. I mean, you hear it all the time, and that's the thing. I'm just repeating what other people have already said, but to play it for myself and coming from someone who doesn't like the way 60 frames per second looks cinematically, to see it actually move with you moving your controller sticks, or mouse and keyboard or whatever you're using, and it just be instantaneous smoothness on the screen. It's one thing to not like the way it looks, but I love the way it plays, and that's what a game is as you play it. And so I really do love the way it feels on PC, and I love the sandbox on PC. It feels different than the console version, and I don't want to hit on it too hard. I know a lot of podcasts are talking about that right now, but just it is very obvious. It's wow, certain guns just don't feel like certain guns just feel amazing on PC basically, and I wish they felt that amazing on console. So especially like hip firing, that was a huge thing me and Hove were talking about before the podcast. Is hip firing thing feels amazing right now.
So yeah, to sum it up, my week's been good.
No one cares about Hove's week.
No, but have you played some more D2 on PC, Hove?
Yeah. I mean, I started a Titan first, which I might have mentioned last week, but it kind of pains me that I did that. But I hadn't started a Titan yet on console, so I figured I might as well get my next character being a Titan on PC. And it's so funny because, with Titan skating going, it's still funny that I played Hunter and Warlock on console and then went over to the higher FOV with my Titan, and so my Titan just in that comparison feels so much faster still than my other two characters.
That's funny.
But yeah, now that you really messed around with that, have you noticed the FOV difference and everything, Lego? Do you like it?
Yes. Yeah. The FOV. So I maxed it out like at first, like you said, and just like tried it out, and you do feel super fast, but just the computer that I'm running on right now, it can't handle a lot of stuff. And so I brought it down a little bit just for that. But it was fun just to experience it. Just for the smoothness, though, I've been narrowing it down like lowest graphic settings I can, just for the smoothest experience. But also at the same time, I don't like the distortion factor that you get with the super wide. And so I've narrowed it down to like somewhere between 95 and 100 is where I think I like it.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that like fishbowl look on the sides.
Exactly.
If you go too far out. I found right around 100, 101 seems to work best for me to get rid of that. But you're right, it's a little bit more, I think, CPU intensive to process all the extra stuff. So you will run at a lower FPS the higher FOV you go.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't want to harp on PC too much here, but I want to get to know DirtyRoot first of all before we start, the discussion about any of this awesome D2 stuff that has come out.
Sure.
First of all, like we've been talking about the PC and console thing. Where are you at with all of this, DirtyRoot? Are you playing console mainly? Are you playing PC at all? Where are you at?
Yeah, so I haven't delved into console yet. PC. It's coming eventually. Especially with the Church of Unlimited Frames, as Hefty put it. Of course, I'm mainly on console, and I kind of cross console because I play my PS4, but I also play the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Big Halo fan, and
yeah,
Halo's on the Xbox, and and there's a new Xbox One coming. I get that, but I flip back and forth, and I love the console, but I am curious with this field of view and how it's, because I hear really good things,
It's orgasmic.
It's very good.
I'm curious to get into that to see how that's gonna go. But
nice. Well, tell us a little bit about your play style. What do you main? What do you or even just do what?
I'm a. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a warlock. Started off with a warlock. I'm kind of a warlock and a hunter. Titan
call.
is kind of like in
They're
there on the end. Yeah, I just have a hard time with the Titan for some reason. I like them in PvE, but when it comes to PvP, I just have a hard time with a Titan. Skating down, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have like a loadout that you love running with those characters, with the hunter or the warlock?
With regards to whatever the meta is, I actually like to just change it up because I feel like if I can just play a lot of everything, it just makes it a lot funner. Like Mana, when he was playing, was it last week? He said he just kept changing his loadout as he was playing, and just kind of whatever it gave him. And I kind of like to do that too, so I can keep a variety of things on me, like from pulse rifles, which hot right now, at least on a console. Then I'll do sidearms. I even grenade launchers.
Oh, nice.
Just because, just to try to pull some of the TV hits because he loves them grenade launchers, don't he?
It is really fun to mix things up like that, though.
Yeah. I haven't done like the raid, so I haven't actually got to finish the raid yet. So I was with Triton on that for a long time. I was with you. I didn't get to do the raid. It's more of a time constraint thing. Just because I'm in college too, so and then trials is something I actually haven't got to do either, believe it or not.
Oh wow! So what kind of player do you find yourself being? Is it like more of a PvP player? Is that what you find yourself drawn to? Is it more PvE things like the raid or like the regular story missions and stuff like that? What kind of draws you to Destiny overall?
Both, actually. But if I had to pick one between the two, it would probably, I would lean more towards PvE. There's just something about getting into a raid and all the crazy antics that happen, or somebody gets pushed in a hole and you get to laughing, or drunken raises, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
I've only played. I think I only played Destiny like once drunk, but I beat Papa Bear's ass in a 1v1. So
did you?
it made me happy.
I had a blast before D2 launched. We did this the whole raid race.
Oh yeah.
That was with Boomslang and a few of the other guys. It was my first time actually getting to play with was it OG Resolutes?
Yeah.
Can't think of the word for it. Yeah.
Resolute.
Yeah. We ended up winning. It was a close race though, but we went through all the raids.
Yeah.
Vaulted Glass all the way through the Wrath of the Machine. That was a blast.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could have joined everyone that day. It looked like a ton of fun. But I
Fun.
was like, keeping up watching online though was really awesome.
I think I was working. There was something I had to do.
My favorite part of the whole thing was Claw whenever everybody was starting it up and I was in Claw's stream or whoever was streaming from his group, and Claw was the leader of it, and they started it up and they're like, wait, we just flew to the moon, and they were like, so you're supposed to start on like Vaulted Glass, and he was like, oh wait, no, we started the wrong raid, no, and they're like automatically behind like 5 minutes from the very get-go. It was awesome. Like totally a pro Destiny clan here.
Sweaty AF.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But you said you found yourself you said you found yourself playing a lot of Halo previously. Do you feel like that's what drew you to Destiny? Tell me a little bit about that, and then also what drew you to Resolute and like how you got involved with all of that.
Yeah. So I played a lot of Halo, and I wasn't good at Halo, but I played a lot of Halo. And what drew me to Destiny was funny because I was really excited for Titanfall, and so I got Titanfall, and I actually got the Titanfall console, which I thought was going to be all decked out and stuff with the Xbox, but it wasn't. It just came with a digital game. That's right, and I got the controller too, and it was a problem at one time with the Xbox where you would start tilting up and looking at the sky because the analog sticks were jacked up in it. But yeah, so it's in a drawer over there. I think I've used it like twice, maybe. but so and some guys from work were like, hey, Bungie has a new IP coming out, and it's called Destiny. So automatically, I just I usually buy at the time 3 or 4 games a year. Try to narrow it down instead of buying And I was like, so I just bought it, unseen, didn't know anything about it. I'd listened to a little bit of Guardian Radio in the very beginning, when mostly the speculation of and I was like, okay, I got space magic, space cowboys. I can go this route. So I was hard and heavy on Titanfall, and then Destiny came out, and it's really funny. I'll tell you a funny story. So Destiny came out, and my wife was at home; she was off. So I was like, hey, will you download this game and just start it up and tell me what you think? I got sitting on the couch, and she's full into it. She's like, this is the awesomest game I've ever played. From that day on to today, that's my Guardian runner right there. She plays Destiny with me.
That's awesome.
Well played, DirtyRoot. Well played.
Married her 2 years later, buddy.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's totally awesome.
Yeah. And she is a Titan main, so can't help her on that one. But she does like Warlock too. She won't touch a hunter.
She knows what's up. You got a good one there.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, tell us.
And what drew me to Resolute? Yeah. There's just something special about this clan, and it's apparent with everybody. A lot of us were all so different, but we all blend so well. I can't think of anybody that I haven't played with, even recently or even in the past a little bit. That's just it's always so. I kind of get that stigma sometimes, we're the sweaty clan, right?
The sweatiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sweatiest, right? And but I think it's a lot more than that. There's just it's a family. Put that here. It's anytime, any blur. It doesn't matter if it's like for a day or 2 days or 3 days. It's like you can always find somebody, and it's a good group of guys and girls.
Yeah.
All around, and it's the best. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was absolute honor to get that message for the interview. It's quite crazy. I probably sneezed halfway through it a couple times. I kept sneezing, and the audio kept going out on the Tinks' side of it, but it was kind of funny.
I always blame Tinks.
Yeah, I know. I blame her for letting me in here too. I feel like I just tried to talk up as many movies as we had in common as I could, and eventually that's what got me in. That's how I convinced myself that I got into Resolute.
That's it. Yeah,
it was the nudes.
This is not true.
It's true.
Well, we have a lot to talk about today. We have the Curse of Osiris, all that info that just dropped, so much of that stuff. And then we also have new stuff in the TWAB. We had that patch note from last week. The patch actually went live today, which thank goodness I can finally see my friends or my clan on PC, because I feel so lost. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm glad that patch hit. But first off, let's just talk about the DLC. There's so much stuff to do. Let's just start at the base thing, the trailer that they dropped for it. What were y'all's first impressions?
I think Osiris spent too much time at the farm with the chickens.
Yeah, the feathers.
What's up with the feathers?
He's Cade's ultimate army leader, right? Like
he has feathers.
Well, you know how everyone draws the fan art of Cade's army, and it's all like the chickens and stuff. Like his costume is like a giant chicken. It's a Lego Flash sized chicken costume. Osiris.
Maybe Osiris is Lego.
Maybe I am also.
I don't know why you need feathers on Mercury. I guess if we're going.
I don't know, but it does. I'm sorry for getting that derailed so quickly.
He's got a menacing look on his face, though.
He does. He made him look very old and wise, like he's been through a lot of crap. Is what he looks like, and he really the animation that the cinematic that they played really got me into wanting to be in that world. But what made me really want to play that game was the very last shot of it that had the zoom out of that Titan in the middle of an Atheon looking symbol that was floating in the sky. I was like, yes, I want to go there. I want to play that. Whatever that is, give it to me now.
Give it to me now.
That's how I feel about it.
Got a sneak peek of some guns in there too. Did y'all see some of the guns that were floating around?
Yeah.
I mean, immediately people were they're bringing back Jade Rabbit. They're bringing back
Jade Rabbit. What was the other one? Telesto?
Telesto. Yeah.
I thought there was a shot of that, someone running, and it looked like Thorn. I've seen that too. I think one of my
that one was much less confirmable, but the silhouette from far away resembled
looked like
Thorn. Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
No,
people on Reddit are all.
No.
That'll be interesting.
I mean, I'm excited just for all the new stuff that'll come, and if they throw in some old originals, that's fine too. We're still playing in the Destiny universe. Those things are still there. Is how I see it.
But they were destroyed.
Yes, you can make that argument too.
No,
they were destroyed.
I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have new stuff, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they could add some variation on them a little bit too, or something like that. I mean, they haven't
definitely
really done that, but
yeah.
I mean, they could do that. I mean, I was pumped. I liked the trailer a lot. I mean, they know how to definitely create buzz. I think it's funny because for the last couple weeks, obviously, we're hitting a time where it's not all rainbows and sunshine. So to kind of have a trailer come out and then everyone be like, "Oh, I'm back! I'm ready to come back." They do a pretty decent job of that in that way, and it just gets you excited to play new content. And I think that was one of the stories that they wanted to go down. So this will be kind of revisiting lore from Destiny 1, where the beginning of Destiny 2 sets you on a new path, getting to go back and kind of tie in some of these stories that you wondered about, focusing on this expansion. But I think the next one looks like a war mine. So I think people have talked about that before, and that's a storyline that you see not just in D1 but in D2. So I'm anxious to definitely play it, and I think hopefully it brings the raid. I know we're talking about a lot of things, but that's kind of like my one thing is I'm hoping for. If it doesn't, no,
It's
not the
not.
end of the world. I'll still play the crap out of
They
it.
pretty much already said it's not.
Okay, well, I'm still hoping.
Raid-like content.
Raid-like
not even.
content.
Raid-like.
We'll get to that. But
Yeah.
Like
it made me think of here's three things. One, as Oz pointed out in chat, there was also another trace rifle spotted, a solar one.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Cold Heart, but solar.
Yep.
Two.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. I heard the noise and just thought it was Cold Heart. I didn't even translate in my mind that it was like solar. Okay.
Yeah, there's
That's
a solar one.
had a red, yeah, it had a red laser beam, I believe.
Mhm.
Huh.
I forget what two was. I forget. But three, speaking of bringing back old stuff, do you think that the trailer was just some like cinematics from the expansion, like maybe showing something that happened to Osiris or whatever? Because that was in Vault of Glass. Or do you think we're going to go back to Vault of Glass?
That's what
Maybe
I've
it's a
been hearing.
backstory.
That would be. I would still do Vault of Glass again, revamped a little bit.
I don't think it would be the whole raid.
Just parts of it, maybe.
Like maybe like a mission in it or
Or
something.
just a setting, like have that setting for something.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking it might just be because it was Osiris in there. It was cinematic, but I'm thinking it might just be some like backstory or something because, with the new engine and redesigning everything, it wouldn't be like a copy and paste. Like people would be like, oh, they just brought back something that was old. They still would have had to have like designed it mostly from the ground up again, right? As far as coding goes, so it's not like an easy extra piece of content as far as I know, but.
So maybe more like when House of Wolves. Remember, like in House of Wolves, you went back in there a little bit for like 1 or 2 missions, which is cool.
Yeah.
You think something more along those lines. I mean, I'd still be down for something like that. I think that'd be cool.
I think we'll see. Like, I don't know. I'm cool with it either way as long as like it feels new. Like I'm cool with it. Like I don't feel like it's gonna hit all those nostalgia factors for me just because we just had not that long ago in D1 like the basically
The Age of Triumph thing
Age
going
of
back.
Triumph that like we revisit everything, and so it's like it's pretty fresh in my mind. I don't really care to go there again, quite yet. But if it happens and it feels new, sure, I'm fine, or ever. Yeah. But all the other places so far that they've shown look pretty awesome. I mean, just reading off some of the stuff, like we know we're going to go to Mercury. We potentially might go back to the lighthouse. I mean, they basically showed it in screenshots and stuff, versions of it.
I thought they said the lighthouse would be a social space open to everybody now.
Yeah, in articles they've said that. And then also the Infinite Forest is going to be a place as well. And they haven't really said exactly what that is yet. But we're going to be doing stuff on Mercury. And it looks like from the screenshots and from clips in the video, it's like, what I'm guessing, this isn't like confirmed, I don't think in any way, but it looks like past and future versions of these places on Mercury. It's what it seems like.
I was going to ask y'all, did y'all see the one scene that it was when you go to the lighthouse where you open your chest and it shows almost like a future version where it's all burned and
yeah.
I missed that.
It was like a
changed
void.
and a little. Right.
Well, like, doesn't one of the trailers kind of like say that? I swear I saw something that's like, you'll be fighting Vex. Like the point is you fight Vex from the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Vex
also
from
from
the
the
future,
future.
yeah.
Like it's like a time thing. So I mean, I don't know where I saw that, but yeah, I did see, which I think would be confirmed, that you will fight what appears to be Vex from the future. So that'd be kind of cool.
I just think it would be 10 times more awesome if it wasn't just, in different, like if it wasn't just like Vex from the past are coming to fight you and Vex from the future are coming to fight you wherever you are, but you go to them in the past and the future. Like if you're doing the time traveling, it would be a lot more exciting.
That would be very
Wasn't
cool.
that like kind of the end vault, right? Like you were either when you went to like the Venus side was considered
Like
that. So
Vault of Glass.
if it's kind of like, if they're tying into Vault of Glass and part of that was like, their whole thing, they're going to reshape this Mercury like they've done other times. The Vault of Glass is kind of a demonstration of, past and future and that. So that's kind of a cool tie. Hopefully, obviously, I'm sure they'll execute it well, but at least there's some precedence for that, which I think is neat.
Mm-hmm.
Revisiting
Destiny
it now in
DLC
conversation.
1 Flashpoint.
Yep.
Right.
They could always throw probably they said they weren't going to do it, but man, the Stranger sure seems like she could fit in that little plot between jumping back and forth.
Yeah, I really don't think. But they are going to have new characters, like they've said. who are the new characters they're gonna have? They're gonna have Osiris, obviously, in some form. Brother Vance is supposed to make an appearance, and there's a new female character as well.
Was that the ghost though?
The ghost, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ghost.
Who?
Sorry, female voiced character.
Well, there's also that one picture has the like female guardian, and no one like.
That's for the new expansion.
Yeah,
right?
Is that for the next
Second
one?
DLC, right?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Second DLC.
It
Yeah,
looks
and it
like a
shows
big
a.
ghost.
Oh, that was number 2. I remembered number 2. When they first released the Curse of Osiris like trailer and stuff, the thing said the DLC 2 was fall 2018. Did they backtrack on that and make it spring again? I saw something that said autumn 2018, and people were like, "What the fuck?"
Ooh.
No, I haven't seen
about
that.
It says spring.
Hold on.
I think Deej said the second one was in spring.
That's what they'd been saying, but there was a graphic. I don't know. I'm stupid. I don't remember what it was.
Well, all I know is right now, December 5th, we're getting this. That right? December 5th is the
December
first
5th.
Curse of Osiris DLC. And Hove, you were saying that that's the time that season 2 is going to begin as well.
Same day,
correct?
yeah.
And so, we're just getting a ton of stuff dropped this at once. And not only that, but all this month, we're going to have stuff too that we'll talk about in a little bit. But for now, just continuing with the Curse of Osiris stuff, we're also getting rank up to 25, light level to 330, new quests, missions, strikes, adventures, new raid
Strikes
activity.
multiple.
Yeah, strikes multiple, and new. They mentioned a new Crucible map, and then they also mentioned in a different article new PlayStation exclusive map that takes place. I'm so excited about this.
He is.
I'm not excited about it being a PlayStation exclusive, but it takes place at the New Pacific Arcology, which is the most awesome place on Titan where you go underneath and it
The
has
Solarium?
the Solarium. Yeah, the new exclusive Crucible map for PlayStation takes place there, which I'm stoked about. I can't wait to play that map.
Place
Even
has
if it
so much
sucks,
potential.
it'll be pretty to look at.
Lego will just film a video there and then complain every time he has to actually play it.
I'll do a PvP video. Yeah, I'll just record other people fighting.
Or every time we go into PvP and it's on that map, Lego will just be running around. You'll just see Lego on the side of the map looking at things while there's people shooting them. And you're like,
No, that'll be you.
But
You're
it'll
the
still
one
pick
who
up the
gets caught
power
up
and then
looking
look at
bright
things so no one else
yeah,
can get the power.
pick up the power and then just run
Pick
around.
up the power,
my
then
gosh.
look at things.
No, Hove, you're
Y'all
the one
hoard the power.
to get distracted looking at pretty things, or bright and colorful things, I should say.
Nah.
Nah.
Maverick in chat said you're going to be busy filming a wedding video in the Solarium.
Oh my gosh, that with the way things have happened in Destiny in the past, it could happen.
But the one thing you didn't mention, new raid activity, they said.
New
Activity.
raid-like activity.
No. New raid
you're right.
activity.
Not raid-like, raid activity. That's right, it does say that, but it doesn't say new raid, period.
Yeah,
And when
that's
they
a
were
tricky one.
they were asked to confirm by some outlet, and they repeated, new raid activity.
So it could be the current raid with another thing, right? I mean, that it very well
Here's
could
what
be.
I think would be really awesome. I don't think it'll be it, but I think it would be really cool. So, the Leviathan. We've talked about how absolutely ridiculously massive it is.
Know where you're going.
And, I mean, even though the raid was big, when you really think about everything you ran through, you weren't on 10% of the Leviathan.
Yeah.
Not only that, but yeah, we killed Callus,
The
but
robot.
he was just a robot, and there was 1,000 other Calluses. Maybe something else on the Leviathan, another encounter of some sort, since Callus is technically still around. That'd be cool. I think they left it open for something like that to happen pretty easily, but does it fit? Does it fit into the Osiris story? Is the thing.
Yeah.
But a progressive raid would be cool, though, Hove. I think to your point, I think we've not done that, right? Where a raid evolves over time, maybe with DLCs, and
That would be cool.
that would be kind of neat, and it would be new, and obviously they have to do it well, but it's just that would be interesting. But you're right, I think that's the key crux at the end. Is does that fit into the lore there, right? Because Mercury's not. So
Well, there's time traveling, right?
yeah, that's true.
Maybe you get.
Time travel fixes everything, and all.
Well, no, maybe you get sent back and you show up to the Leviathan again or something.
Oh my gosh. DirtyRoot, would you have any theories on this raid activity?
I'd love to see it if it tied. That's something that's good, Triton. I'd give you that.
Don't compliment him.
I know, but for raids to start tying in together, I mean, that's nothing that's never been done before. But if the raid like activity, maybe it's the in between raids. So say there's not a new raid with Osiris, but maybe there is one with the next one in spring, and something ties into going into the next DLC. I would love to see that, like that kind of progression.
Yeah, like starting that raid progression with this raid into whatever the next DLC is. That's interesting.
Exactly. But to have as big as the Leviathan is, I mean, even the underbelly is gosh, I can imagine. I ran around for a little while up under there trying to find keys, and the whole raid in itself, just below the bottom part.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'm interested to see where they're going. I think maybe that Bungie has some tricks up their sleeves that we're blind to the fact of, and I would sure like to see compared to as it evolves, an evolving thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the one thing that I keep thinking of that I feel like it, because I don't feel like it is like specifically a new raid, like Hove was saying, they were kind of like weird about answering the question. And if it's not a raid, then in my opinion, it sounds like it could be, we don't know anything about this infinite forest thing. And infinite forest in and of itself sounds like like Prison of Elders type thing.
Sounds a little horde mode-y. I don't know.
I don't even want to say Prison of Elders, because that's like the wrong impression that I'm giving it, because Prison of Elders is like, hey, here's these steps, here's the boss, okay, but like infinite, like in the word itself is like never ending. And so I hope it's some form of horde mode, like actual horde mode, like you were about to say, Triton. Like that's what I'm envisioning, is something like that. And to back that up, too, one of the things that we're going to talk about later in the TWAB, they have Bungie specifically wanted to call out new ways to play within this new expansion. And so that Infinite Forest like sounds like a new way to play potentially.
I definitely think, you're right that it sounds, with the name Infinite Forest and everything, that it sounds like it could be something like that. And I didn't really think of that before, but I'm also wondering if that's just maybe like the new patrol type of area.
And that's what I think some articles said, that it was like the new patrol area, Infinite, or the new public something area. And it's like, yeah, I guess it could just be the new area on Mercury that's where we load into as well.
Oz is saying in chat that the Infinite Forest is procedurally generated, so it's going to be a little different every time you go in.
Mm-hmm. So either way, that sounds awesome. If it is a raid type thing that is infinitely not raid, sorry. If it is a horde type thing that is infinitely generated, like different every time you go in, that sounds awesome. Or if it's just a patrol space that's different every time you go in for patrol, that sounds really cool as well.
No Man's Forest.
Amazing.
No Man's.
I mean, it could just, if it's that way, but like every time you go in, it's different modifiers, right? Like Prison of Elders was a little bit like that, like the modifiers rotated, so it was a little different. I know we want to move away from that. Well, I mean, what is your guys' opinion? I don't know if this will cap the topic or not, but when we had Dark Below come 3 months after Destiny 1, some people love Crota Raid. Some of my fondest memories are from the Crota Raid, but some people almost don't consider that a raid given the length. And then we get, I think House of Wolves, and that comes with no raid. Are you okay with this being a raid-like activity if the next raid we get is, something that we all enjoy? I don't know. I don't want to categorize them or anything like that. But I mean, is this one of the better moves? I mean, we can speculate all we want for Bungie to say, hey, the next raid you get is going to be this whole complete thing and everything else. We're going to do it this way, as opposed to giving you what seems to be a short raid and then a Prison of Elders. Do you guys feel like that's a good move?
I'm totally cool with it. If it is like really awesome, if they're building it up like another Leviathan, like huge style raid, and on top of that, whatever we get in this expansion, because last time we got House of Wolves, or the House of Wolves, we got also Trials of Osiris was brand new. And so as long as whatever the raid activity that they include in here is something that keeps us very occupied, then I feel like I'm pretty cool with it. And also, I just wanted to point out that, Hove, we can't call it the No Man's Forest because we actually have people within the same area that we are in this game, unlike the other game. So
maybe not. I don't know. But no, to your question, Triton, I don't know. I think I would rather do something like they're doing now. Have something in between, and then maybe the next DLC has a like a full, fleshed out big raid. Only because ideally it would be every expansion has a big awesome raid, right?
Right.
But if that was possible,
Right.
Crota wouldn't have been Crota. They would have had another one in House of Wolves. You know what I mean? If they could just pump out a new big raid, they would do it. But clearly, video games are hard to make. So I would rather have something in between and then a really good raid as opposed to, hey, let's rush this raid. Oh, everyone hates it. Let's take more time, and then you miss 2. Do you know what I mean?
And it's glitchy. Right. The sword's always disappearing through the floor.
And that's coming from someone. I loved Crota. It was a shitty raid,
too.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we also have the live team. You can't forget about the live team. They can fill the lull in between the raids. I mean, the Dawning's coming.
Yeah.
Right. They mentioned
January,
that.
Right?
Plus
January.
Whatever else, can live team is able to fill the content in between 2 big raids. Me personally, I'm fine with that. As long as I just hope we don't ever get to that big gap like we did in D1.
Yeah, there were some huge gaps in D1. And I didn't even think about that either, that the live team, is around when they weren't around in D1 during that time. So it is interesting how different it's going to play out this time around.
Yeah, because before, that's what DirtyRoot just made me think of too. Like, the live team didn't come around, I don't think, until I think the live team was kind of like, oh shit, hey, we all need to work on D2. Let's throw together this live team to keep D1 going. Whereas now, I'm sure some people are starting to work on D3, whether it's just writing or whatever, but the majority of the studio is on D2. So you have the live team doing live team stuff, small content updates, but your main D1 team is probably still working on the next big thing in D1. Do you know? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, before it was kind of like, we have nothing going on, let's get the live team to make stuff. Whereas now it's, we're putting out stuff, let's have the live team fill in the gaps.
And not only that, but we have events happening, which we'll talk about in a little bit too, but that seem to be happening in more frequent capacity than they did when D1 first hit. Like, remember Iron Banner and Queen's Wrath came around, or the Queen's Bounties or whatever it's called, and
Queen's
like
Bounties.
it hit one time in the beginning of D1, and then they scrapped it and we're like, wait, we got to work on these things. And we didn't have it for a very long time after that. And they completely redid the way Iron Banner worked. And now they're like redoing Iron Banner, like, as we speak, that they're like changing it and listening to us. And it's like this evolving game. Like, you can see the wheels turning this time around. You can see like the small pieces changing as we move forward, and players give their critiques on Reddit or YouTube or Twitter, wherever we're talking, like they're listening to that actively, as we could say from our last podcast, covering all the changes that they're listening to and want to make. We can just see that changing like so fast now. Other than just the live team, there's like other stuff going on as well, like the changes to Iron Banner and that kind of stuff, which is the live team, but you know what I mean. Like, there's just a lot more at work this time.
What do you mean? I'm just kidding. You said you know what I mean. Never mind.
I know you're messing with me.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to say all is forgiven, everything's fixed, because we've talked a lot, there's still a lot of problems, but that they have identified and mentioned. But there is this like steady stream of stuff happening. Yeah, it's not every week, but we still have another Iron Banner, we have another faction rally, we're already into November, there's a DLC coming out in a month. You know what I mean? There really hasn't been more than like a 2 or 3 week period without something happening.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now that I look back at that, it almost makes it seem like if the end game stuff that we've talked about and they've said they need to fix was better, I think everything else almost goes away or can be covered up by that, because there was always something to do. You know what I mean? Because there is new stuff coming out all the time. Right.
Yeah, I think that we still have, like, as we've talked about on several episodes, like an in-game problem. Like, there's still not like reasons. I was even, somehow it came up in a conversation with my wife today. We were talking about how much I was playing Destiny now versus when D1 was out, basically. And I would just play D1 more because I felt like I needed to. There was still stuff to get. Whereas I don't really feel like I need to. I just get on when my friends are on. And that's kind of when I get on now, because that's when it's fun to play and I don't have anything to really go after by myself. But
Right.
that's the whole nother conversation.
Well, that's what I mean. If there was that reason to play, out of all the other problems we've mentioned,
Yes.
if there was just a thing pulling you back in just to keep going for, with all this new stuff coming every few weeks, even small stuff, I feel like everything else gets covered up.
It sounds perfect. Yeah. If we had all this new stuff and like reasons to come and do it, oh my gosh, it sounds like an amazing. Like it sounds like I am so excited for Destiny 2 Year 3. Like it's gonna be amazing.
Man, I'm just waiting for month 3.
Yeah, I know. But it just makes me excited to see how quickly this game is evolving already. And I really think that the in-game problems that we have are, they said they're looking at it as of last week. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it all. What did y'all think about one of the things that I mentioned was rank up to 25 and light level to 330? I exclaimed to Hove earlier my dislike for like the way the light level and ranking system works right now. I just feel like, if I say this, I'm going to make a ton of people mad, first of all. And, if Bungie did this, Reddit would go up in flames. But I feel like light level increase and rank increase, like I just feel like it doesn't matter at all. Like it is a reason, I guess, to come back. It just it's not something that I can tangibly use in game. It's not something that I get and can shoot or makes me look cool or anything. It's literally just a number. And I'd rather have just new stuff than light level increase. But I don't know. That's just my like hot take on the whole thing.
I mean, it could just be. It's for some people, it's going to be a quick grind, especially the 20 to 25.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like what? Like that'll be the story. If you ate Pop-Tarts or drank Rockstar, it might be half the story. I guess if you still have those sitting around, I do. So, I mean, to me, it's just like another barrier to get. Like the Nightfall is going to move up, so you got to get there because that'll become a barrier a little bit. Or the raid activity, maybe the prestige version of that, or whatever. So, I mean, again, I'm maybe with you, Leg. I don't want to say pointless, but I mean, it's like a necessary thing for an MMO type of game or an RPG type of game. It's like
I could see that.
It just has to exist. But
I don't like that I need to put gas in my car, but it ain't going to run without it.
Yeah,
I don't know if that analogy works.
I mean, kind of. It's just how it works. That's just how cars work.
Yeah, it's just how it is. It's just part of the game.
No,
I
don't
like
know.
the analogy.
I don't like that analogy just because, like, on principle, like, you can't put Destiny, like, whenever you start comparing Destiny to, like, well, it's a shooter, it's an MMO, it's like its own thing. And whenever you just start saying, well, that's just the way these kind of games are, it's like, I don't know. There has to be reasons for things.
What do you think about the minimal jump in light? Number, even if it doesn't affect too much, it's so easy to come by now. I mean, I haven't even finished the raid, and I'm almost 305, just running around doing heroics and.
Well, keep in mind though, that's just a philosophy change. You don't have to do that stuff to get to max light anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, are you asking, like, how do we feel about not having to do, like, the in-game stuff to get that light? Is that your
question? I hate going back to D1 because they're two different entities. But in D1, I mean, if you ever remember, it's the Forever 28, or was it 28, 29?
29.
It was the chase. Yeah, it was the chase, though. It's the chase, and the light level was kind of the chase. End of the Destiny 1, to obtain the light level for people who didn't play as much or who couldn't do the raids, is to get to 400. But there was the light increments went up a lot more towards the end of Destiny 1, and it seems now with Destiny 2 that small increments. I mean, what you think? What's the max I think we'll be able to get to is it 35? If you add the 5 from the power ammo, the mods.
Yeah, I think so.
305.
There.
Well, no, I think it's
335. 335.
Yeah, 335.
Get mods in there.
Well, I mean, even if
I would like to have seen it jump a little higher, maybe 350.
I mean, when you look back though, we've figured out what about with the new light system. I mean, I know it's changed some in D2, but it was about what 10 light was about a level in vanilla, right? Isn't that about
10? Sounds about right.
So I mean, you look, Crota was only 2 level increase.
Yeah, it seems right.
And so was House of Wolves.
Yeah, it seems right compared to D1. The only thing that I get the dilemma of like, do I want it to be more of a grind for this new expansion, or like I could see Bungie also in the back of their minds like, well, I don't want them to be that much higher of a light level than the Leviathan raid, because if they go in here at 350 and are just demolishing everything, like I don't want them to be quite that powerful yet. So maybe that has to do with it too. I don't know. It's
also, as we've said on so many episodes, we're just going to have to get used to the fact that the grind is not what it used to be. I mean, they've philosophically gone away from that. The and Forever 29, the getting all this stuff. That's not how they're doing it anymore.
I would rather the grind be for weapons and shaders and stuff like that anyway over a light level chase.
Yeah, because then it's not like, if you're always chasing light level, you're always chasing power, you're always chasing being able to do some of the activities and such, as opposed to just like, I can do everything, I just need to get these other things. But that's a whole other.
Well, let's talk about the TWAB for a second, since it has a lot to do with this, with the new DLC coming out. The first thing in the TWAB just kind of talked about these live streams that are coming out in November, weekly live streams, basically up until the launch on December 5th. So week 1, they're going to cover new stories to tell. Week 2, they're going to talk about new ways to play. And then week 3, new gear to earn. And so this is pretty similar to what they did for all the DLCs in Destiny 1. Is what it seems like. And I know we talked in the past about like, well, kind of worried that if they show us everything, I'm not going to be as interested when it actually comes out. So that's one way of thinking about it. But then there's also like hey, November is going to be full of stuff happening and we're going to be in anticipation for it. We're going to be full of talking about Destiny all of November. So where are you guys at with these live streams? Do you all have any opinions on them? Thoughts?
I mean, personally, I like the surprise. I like finding stuff, but I get why they're doing it as far as for the masses and for the publicity and everything. It's just like putting gas in my car. I don't want to do it.
Man, I was just really going to push
this isn't the new thing.
Until we enjoy.
I don't think they're going to give us too much, though. I think they've kind of learned from that. I mean, nobody wants too much. You don't want to see it all right there in one little Twitch stream. It's about giving us just enough to create that hook. The places we'll go, people will meet. That'd be interesting to see, especially if there's different Vex from the future.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm worried about with the new stories to tell, the number one, that's probably the one that gets me the most. Like new ways to play, tell me about a new game mode. That sounds great. Then I'll be in anticipation to play it. And new gear, maybe show me a little bit about that. But number one, the new stories to tell, no, I don't want to know anything about like this story. I've seen it's about Osiris. I've seen him look really cool in this trailer. Right. I know his ghost can talk already, and it's going to be awesome. But I know Brother Vance is coming back. I don't really want to see any. Please don't show me any cinematics. Like, I don't want to see all the cinematics before it came out. Because I feel like that's what happened with the Taken King. Like, a ton of those cinematics they showed us beforehand, especially the big long one at the beginning of the whole thing. And it's like, no, I don't want to see any of that. Save it for the game. Like, that's how I feel about it.
I'm also excited about the Ghost. I know you just mentioned that, but they also got another big actress to do that, so that's going to be like a good, she's going to have some lines. It's not like they hired a major actress to say Guardian down 1,000 times.
Yeah. Hey, anytime we can get more Firefly actors and actresses in the game, I'm all for it.
And she was in Deadpool.
And Deadpool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was.
Very true.
All for it.
I'm with you. I don't want spoilers in that way. I mean, I think because they let you know early, though, like you could just maybe avoid that live stream. I mean, you might have to avoid a Twitter a little bit too, but I mean, at least they kind of let you know upfront. Because for some people that like they need that to be further along. I've got a buddy who absolutely won't see, like he spoils the Marvel and DC movies before deciding if he's going to come with us to actually see it. Like he has to have all that information, and just some people may need that, but at least they let you know ahead of time. It's not like there's one stream and then you're like, oh, by the way, here's the plot without any kind of like spoilers or something. But I'm with you. I'm not gonna probably watch that one or at least that section, and I'm trying to avoid like the immediate kind of Twitter aftermath. But I mean, for the most part, I'm okay with the live streams.
Dude, your friend's the guy who reads the plot of the movie on IMDb before he goes sees it, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to. Like
My
he
God.
messaged us for Thor this weekend. He's like, it was well reviewed. I already read the whole thing, so I'll come. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay. Well.
Dude, don't
Oh,
tell
that
me.
bugs me so bad. I know that I've listened to people who like they get so stressed out about going to the movies or playing a game or anything that they have like their anxiety forces them to read the plot so they don't get nervous when they're watching the movie and they can just enjoy it, which is crazy to me, but I understand.
Yeah.
People's minds work differently.
I don't like it. I don't know. The thing that kind of worries me that they're going to give too much away is like, how much can you, they divide it into 3 live streams as opposed to like 1 about the DLC. So like you have one that's just about the story, unless it's a 3-minute live stream. How can they not talk about a good bit of it? Same thing with like, new activities. Unless it's going to be 5 minutes long, they're going to have to go into detail about all the things you can do. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about.
If it was 1 live stream, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they can spend like 10 minutes teasing this and 10 minutes teasing this. But unless they're really, really short live streams, I don't see how they don't spoil stuff.
You know what they could do that would be awesome and that wouldn't give a whole lot away, and they've done stuff like this before, is show a lot of concept art for it, which that is always really cool. Like I always love seeing, but because it's not exactly what you get, but it like gives you this idea and gets you really hyped to actually play it. So, but I don't know what they're gonna show. I have no idea.
That's like an interesting take. Like I mean, I'm not gonna watch those ones, but it would always be. I don't want to say deceptive, but if you put on a story stream and you're like throw up just a still shot of just conception art and you kind of talk about that for like 5 minutes. I don't know if everyone comes thinking like that's a weird. I think that's cool, but I think that's one of those because it wouldn't ruin anything. But like maybe like we just talked about, maybe you're the person who literally wants you to say this, and you come and now there's just some guy talking about like, oh, I felt moved on this piece, and you're like, oh, what the hell's this? So, I mean, I don't know, but like if that's what they do to host point. Like if you did that for 2 hours or an hour, I'd be like, oh,
I can't see them being much more than a half hour.
No,
Yeah,
which is probably fine.
Dirty. Were you gonna say something else about it?
I agree with Hove and Triton on this one. It's, I don't want too much. Maybe just a little taste. I like the concept. I think they used the concept art before, like showed little bits and pieces. And second stream is probably the one that interests me the most. New ways to play and
I agree.
challenge your fire team.
They'll probably show us the new raid activity during that time, I bet, or the new whatever it's gonna be.
Raid activity.
You think they will?
Correct.
Or are they just going to tease it a little bit? I hope they tease it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
4-person patrols. That's the.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
That's the new way to play. 4 people in patrol.
That'd be dumb.
Whatever, Hope. You'd love it because then you could go straight to Crucible activity right out of your patrol. It'd be awesome.
It'd be dumb.
Instead of having to kick Triton out all the time, you'd
That's
actually.
why I like it.
You have to get online to play with us before.
Speaking of spoiling movies, Triton, let's go see Thor after the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
You're not going to do that. I try to get you to go Saturday.
Okay, we can't plan y'all's dates on the podcast. I know as much as it excites you two. But the gear that comes with this, no, for real. Number 3, the third live stream was the gear. And I am really excited about all the gear that they've shown off for it. You could see a lot of there was a lot of like robotic kind of looking stuff, but then there's also a lot of like Vexy looking stuff as well. They showed some screenshots where like it looked very Vault of Glass like, and I don't know, it just all looks awesome. That's always all the Vex stuff and all the robotic, really clean looking gear is always my favorite. So.
I hope the Titans get a feather boa.
I hope there is nothing feather. It's all like powerful.
I will admit that the Titan in the screenshot looked really good. It almost had like with that Vault of Glassy looking going on. But it did look good.
What if all of this was just a new raid activity? All of it was just you doing Vault of Glass with Osiris, and you get all the gear again.
People would be upset. Oh, that's what would happen.
That would make sense.
You walk through a portal and come out and go, oh shit, where am I? And Osiris goes, we're in the Vault of Glass. What are you doing? And then you just go fight Atheon.
Dude,
the
if he
whole
was
DLC.
actually with you, the whole way through, it'd be totally worth it.
No,
That'd be
it
awesome.
wouldn't.
No.
Yes, it
Yeah.
would. Dude,
No.
having an AI like actually fighting alongside of you would
You
be
hear that,
awesome.
Bungie? Listen, all you need to do is just put an AI in all of Destiny 1, bring it back, call it Destiny 3, and Lego's going to buy 1 million copies.
I would buy that. It'd be awesome.
I mean, fighting along them in like clip scenes, like where you're not really interacting, is one thing. Zavala dies so many times on that first
that's
mission.
not
Like,
what
I had to
saying.
revive
I'm just saying, like he's fighting alongside you, instantly dead.
Yeah,
Bubble
it's
goes
funny
down,
because
you
he's like,
die.
get in my bubble, and then he's dead, and you're like, I don't think I want to be there.
Yeah, the funniest thing is if
though.
you don't go towards him, you're fine. But if you go towards him, you're probably gonna die trying to get in that
and
bubble.
he's
I'm
your
saying the
fearless
last thing
leader.
you want to see is Osiris come out of like one of the portals and like not put up the cleanse shield correctly, and all of you die. Like that'd be so deflating. It's like, dude, come on, like,
Come on, cleanse us, man.
like what are you doing, Osiris? I'm blind. That'd be
The
terrible.
warlock. So
Okay, so
You can throw
also next in the TWAB, we have next week the faction rallies coming out as well again already, which that's what I was hinting at earlier with like, you know, we got new stuff coming out all the time. We already have faction rallies back. We just had it just a little while ago, and so it's cool to see them keep. You know, I was afraid this wouldn't come. I was hopeful that it would come back around sooner than later, but the fact that it's so soon already, and they're adding new weapons in, so it doesn't feel like you're just getting the same old stuff. If you did it last time, they added new stuff in, which sounds great. It sounds like they've made a lot of changes to make the faction rally more fun instead of just grinding, shooting a bunch of boxes in a lost sector and dying and respawning back in and doing it again. Now you actually can do it with your fire team, play strikes. So I'm just going to read through some of the changes here, and then we can kind of talk about it. The changes that they made were strikes give you 5 to 9 faction tokens now. Nightfalls give you 10 to 18 your first time through every character, which is a ton. Heroic public events give you 5 now, down from 8, and lost sectors don't have any more of those boxes to destroy. Instead, you just loot the chest and you get 3. Like everyone in your party gets 3. So pretty great, I think. Like I think it's gonna be an actual event this time around. What do you guys?
As long
how
as
do you guys
Dead
feel
Orbit
about it?
doesn't win.
No, dude.
I think they assured that they weren't going to win by offering a grenade launcher as the
Grenade launcher.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Also, like they showed off the weapons, and it's like cool new monarchy looking weapons,
Sword.
cool future war cult looking weapons. Oh, beat up weapons from like the beginning of the game that look like shit.
Okay,
Their
here's the
weapons
deal.
suck.
No, there's one reason to go Dead Orbit, and it's because they have a submachine gun that looks like the Antiope, and
You're
I'm
an Antiope.
all for that gun. That is like my favorite gun in Destiny 2 right now. So if it feels like that gun and it's Dead Orbit styled, I want to play it. I want to try it. I want the things.
Listen, the future war cult fusion rifle is the like weapon at the end. Like
That
for
does
whoever
look pretty
wins.
awesome.
It needs to happen. I don't care about the sword. I don't care about the whatever that thing is.
The grenade launcher.
No, it doesn't even look like. a
I
grenade
don't care
launcher.
about that either.
It's
Yeah.
dumb.
No, that's how you know they're not going to win
Yeah.
now.
But like all the other weapons, like the future war cult weapons, all look badass.
They
Yeah,
do.
their weapons do look good in general.
The thing is, though, is that I need that submachine gun. And once I get that, I'll switch Dead Orbit and I'll just, I'll play my other character and grind the heck out of Future War Cult for that fusion rifle. Although, I have to say, new Monarchy sniper rifle looks so sexy. Like, it looks really, really good. Don't you think?
Here's my only complaint about new monarchy stuff. Their paint jobs are all beat up looking compared to like Future War Cult. I like the red and white, but if they were just like a nicer
Yeah.
red and white,
Like clean, not like a hit with
Yeah.
a rock a bunch of times.
yeah, it's not like you threw like your child dropped it down the steps and like I don't know.
I also feel like I agree with the sniper rifle, but like I don't snipe too much in general, and there's only like 2 in the game I even like. So to me,
You
it could
should
be
play
like
PC.
Gentleman's Vagabond or something, and I'd be like,
what they
like
call
one of those
me.
ones that's like a very
The hand cannon looks nice, too, for new Monarchy, though.
Yeah.
Looks really
yeah, which again
Uh,
probably is cool on PC.
What did y'all think about the changes, though, as far as like, you don't have boxes to blow up anymore?
That's good. That was one of my complaints. It was stupid
Yep.
that like if you played with a fire team, you were pretty much like one of you
On
was
your
getting
own.
screwed.
Yeah.
Just more evidence
like
of
when
them
me and you-
listening. That's
When
what
me
I
and you
thought.
played Ho, we had to split up and go to different sections because that's when we figured out that he was getting it or I was getting it and he wasn't getting it.
Yeah, because I like
It also takes.
God.
I was gonna say it takes the farming out now. They've kind of cut out the farming.
Yeah, it's more like farming like whatever way you want to, instead of like just play the game, have fun, and you'll get the things.
Like if you want to be a dairy farmer, you can be a dairy farmer. You don't have to have livestock. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you don't have to have gas in your car. You got an electric car.
No, man.
Milk the cow how you want to milk the cow.
Yeah. It's just how it is. Just got to put gas in your car, man.
Triton's just shaking his head right now.
It's not going to take Hove. I mean, it's not.
I mean, for trying though. He's striving it though.
I'm glad y'all like the changes. I think they're awesome. I'm excited to play it next week and get the things. So who are you gonna rep right away though? Obviously, Hove is Future War Cult. No. I thought you said all that matters was
their
the
weapons look badass, but New Monarchy is still the way to go.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize. Wow, DirtyRoot.
I'm swapping it up this time. I'm gonna keep one of them, New Monarchy, because I have a feeling because I want that fusion rifle. But I'm like you, and I want that submachine gun from Dead Orbit.
Yeah, I know.
Nah.
It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good.
Nah,
It's gotta be.
nah.
No, they can keep the grenade launcher, but I'll take that.
Exactly. I'm swapping over as soon as I get that submachine gun. The sword looks awesome too, though. I'm down for the sword,
No,
but
it doesn't.
What? You don't know what perks it has?
It
What if
looks
it's like
every other sword of that type?
what if it's like
Lego
quick
perks on the
for
sword?
Titan?
I mean, unless it's like secretly like Dark Drinker or something like that we don't realize. I don't know.
It makes
about
you
perks on the
invisible
sword.
every time you do a sword swing. What if that was the?
It's not though.
It's not.
It's not.
But that would be cool. But it's just not.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of like the Rat King, get a swipe and you go invisible.
Yes. Okay, so last thing, you guys.
Wait, did Triton say who he was repping?
No, I agree with you on
He
New
said-
Monarchy.
He agreed with you.
Triton and I are like soulmates.
True.
True. No one's denying this.
It's just gas in the tank, right?
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
Triton's
God.
the gas
No,
in
Dirty
Hope's
Root,
tank.
don't do it.
So last thing, the patch notes. Just wanted to say that patch went live today, and they made Crucible changes. I was hearing that the changes to salvage that's salvage. What is it? C1. The changes to supremacy were pretty good. Overall, like people still don't like supremacy, but the changes felt a lot better for the game type mode. Did y'all
Is the change the score limit increase? Was that like the big one, like to 75, right?
It increased,
In the
but every
spawns.
kill that you make
Right.
gives you a point, which did not happen before. So
Oh,
I've heard that it works well, but I haven't played it myself yet. Was just wondering if y'all had heard anything or had played it yourself.
I haven't played it yet. No.
My initial impression, though,
haven't
when
played it
it's
yet.
a good thing you mentioned the kills counted as something. I'm like, why would you extend this game?
Well, that's what we said.
I know.
They should have
Why would-
led with that and not
Yeah.
led with a score increase. Because when you
Yeah.
think about it, they only
Whoa.
increased it by how much?
25. It went from
20,
50 to
it was
75.
like 50%
But they
increase.
increased it by like 50%, but they're giving you, in all reality, more than double the amount of points that you used to get.
Yeah.
Because before, if you got 10 kills, you got at the very, very most 10 crests.
10. Yeah.
Now you're
And
getting
maybe
10
0 points.
Right. Now you're getting at least 10 points plus whatever
Uh-huh.
crest you pick up. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
okay
smart.
with it, Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree. Lead with the points for
Well,
kills.
'cause
Not making this game
I
go
said
long.
this last week. I know you weren't here, and you're a terrible host, so you probably didn't listen to the episode. But oh, no comment. Okay. But I was reading it to Dewey. I was playing with
Always
Dewey,
listen.
and I had already read it to myself. But I just said, "Oh yeah, one of the changes to supremacy is that they're increasing the score limit to 75." And I just kind of stopped, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Wait."
It's awesome. Well, yeah. The only other thing that they had on the patch notes that I really thought was awesome was the clan roster finally showing up on PC. Because I'm at such a lot for someone who only plays console and switches to PC and is trying to use that like the friends list thing, trying to get used to BattleNet and everything. Like I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how to add people. I should at least be able to play with my clan though. And then it doesn't load and you can't find anyone. So finally I can play with everyone. When they invite me, if they
I made
invite
some
me.
new friends this week on PC.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I heard about that.
Doesn't have any friends.
But
No, I think the changing of the spawns based on like like in control, you're not going to spawn in the enemy territory as much, and I think the same with
yes.
supremacy. I actually think those things are big because if you play PvP, like 10 games, there'll at least be 2 or 3 of you get to control. You're like, why am I spawning here? Like this is just like you spawn immediately die. So I am glad they're fixing that too. I think that's
Or on the flip side, you're standing there and you watch this guy spawn in front of you,
Right.
and you're like, okay, now I can shoot him.
For it.
You were just standing there waiting until he was available to be shot.
I feel bad for those situations.
I
There
do
was
a
a
little bit, but I laugh really
But
hard.
that guy shoots immediately at you though.
No,
Like you
what I feel
can't.
bad for is there was a game on the map we had in the beta. I can't remember the name of it, but we were playing Control on that map, and I had heavy, and we had all the zones, and I was standing in their spawn with a fusion rifle. So as soon as they came around the corner around that tree, just zoop, voop.
That's weird. You have power ammo?
Yeah,
Never
who would have
thought.
thought?
Yeah, and
But it was
chilling
like
with
I
it, but-
actually felt bad. But it's like I'm trying to win the game. I gotta kill the mans, So that's my story. That's the end of the podcast. Okay, bye.
Podcast.
Dirty move.
I have so many things I need to talk about.
Okay, Hove, do you have something that you'd like to say
No,
for the
not
end of the
really.
podcast? I didn't think so. Okay, so I think that's it for this week, unless you guys have anything else you'd like to throw out there. But DirtyRoot, thanks so much for coming out, man. We really appreciate having you on the show.
I'm glad to be here. It was so much fun. So much fun. And Trials comes out this Friday.
Trials,
Trials,
yes.
Trials is back.
Dude, this weekend.
Yes.
So
Do we know map or mode?
Mm,
Not that I saw.
They'll release it, Friday as usual, I'm sure.
Well, no, remember they've been announcing it weeks ahead of time now.
Oh, that's true. They do that
I
sometimes.
haven't seen anything about it.
Well, that's
No,
good.
they just said they just put out, at the end of the TWAB, we're very excited to have PC finally be able to enjoy Trials, and console will be up too. So
I think you're a liar.
I'm excited about it. Maybe I'll get this fire team together. Maybe I'll actually get Triton and Hove to play with me again and pull Hove away from PUBG.
I just
'cause
invited you to
I
play
know
before this.
that's
I'm so done with
after
you.
the podcast. So, but thank you so much, everyone who tuned in, who's listening live, and who's joined us on their iTunes or Google device. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. This has been Lego, aka Lego Lay Flash. You can find me at Lego LE Flash on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I'll just be playing D2. Hove, where can they find you?
All those same places, doing a little bit of everything. I'm gonna stream again, I promise. But Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Hove76.
Triton?
Yep, all the same places. I did come back to YouTube this past week after like a 6-month hiatus, so I guess I could still
Fantastic
put.
episode.
think I could put YouTube in the category. Am streaming a little bit more, and obviously Twitter. It's all under Triton Please, all one word. The please being PLZ. How about you, DirtyRoot?
Dirty, you can find me at Twitter at JRyan1121, and occasionally you'll find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/DirtyRootX.
Very nice. You can also find REZOcast at REZOcast on Twitter, and you can find more about Team Resolute at teamresolute.com or at Team Resolute on Twitter. And yeah, go check out Triton's video that he just put up. It's like a behind the scenes of REZOcast on his YouTube, and it's really awesome. It was really informative, especially if you like listening to a few of his interesting topics that we don't let him talk about here on REZOcast. So it was awesome.
Because they're not really that interesting. So
you should definitely check it out. But yeah, that's it for episode 58. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Until next time, GG.
GG's.